3 years ago, this dog did not pass her Canine Good Citizen test. Today, she crushed it, so here's what changed, and here are 10 things she had to do to pass. By the way, my name is Lisa. I'm a certified professional dog trainer and a Canine Good Citizen evaluator. This is Jonathan and Nala. A few years ago, when Nala was about 10 months old, John brought her in to take the Canine Good Citizen test. He wanted to do it just for fun, kind of like a fun milestone, but she didn't pass. And the main reason is she was an adolescent, a friendly, social, very excited teenager who really loved jumping on people. Remember, this is totally normal in adolescent dogs. They hit that age around 6 to 18 months, and it's basically the canine version of being 14. Their brains aren't done developing, their impulse control is at best a work in progress, and the skills they nailed at 5 months can mysteriously vanish at 10 months. Failing a test like a Canine Good Citizen during that window is not a sign your dog is bad or that you trained them wrong. It's information and it tells you where to keep working. So what's amazing is Jonathan kept working with Nala. Now that Nala is 3, her brain is fully online and she is back to try this again. And spoiler alert, she passed with flying colors. Let's walk through all 10 test items, what each one is actually testing for, and how Nala did this time around. So let's see how she did on her test. First up, accepting a friendly stranger. The evaluator walks up, greets the handler, and pretends to shake hands, and basically ignores the dog. What we're looking for is a dog who stays calm, under control while a stranger approaches their person. No jumping, no huge lunging, no rushing forward to say hi. This sounds easy, but for a friendly dog who loves people, it isn't easy, and this is the kind of moment where adolescent Nala would have launched, but she handles it with flying colors. 2, sitting politely for petting. In this section of the test, the evaluator asks, "May I pet your dog?" and then casually pets the dog on the head and body. The dog needs to accept the petting without getting shy, without getting jumpy, and without being a wiggly puddle of, oh my god, a new person. Keep in mind that some movement is fine. Standing up to receive petting is fine. What's not is launching into the evaluator's chest. This was Jonathan and Nala's nemesis last time around, but you can see she passed with flying colors. 3rd is appearance and grooming. Now we're checking that the dog is healthy, clean, and willing to be handled. They don't have to love being handled. They just have to accept being handled and not show any major fears or aggression. The evaluator brushes the dog, looks at the ears, and gently picks up each front foot. The real question this is asking is, could a vet or a groomer work with this dog safely? The dog doesn't have to hold the position. Some wiggling is okay. What we don't want is a dog, though, that has to be physically restrained to be touched. The next item is loose leash walking. The handler walks through a short course, right turn, left turn, about turn, with at least one stop. The dog doesn't have to be glued to the handler's leg in a perfect heel like Nala is, but what it is testing is whether the dog is paying attention to the handler and responding when the handler changes direction. The leash should be loose, an occasional tight leash is fine, but no constant pulling or a dog so checked out that they're sniffing the ground the entire time and ignoring their human. Item 5 is walking through a crowd. The dog walks past at least 3 people, some standing still, some moving around. Think busy sidewalk or a crowded farmer's market. The dog can show some interest in people. A quick sniff is fine. What we're watching for is the dog continuing to walk with the handler, not jumping on strangers, not hiding behind the handler, and not hitting the end of the leash trying to meet someone. For a social dog like Nala, this can be a real test of impulse control. Item 6 is sit down and stay in place. This is a 3-parter. The dog has to sit on cue, lie down on cue, then stay in place in a sit or down. That's the handler's choice. As the handler walks 20 feet away, turns around, and walks back. The handler can use more than one cue. They can gently guide the dog into position. What they can't do is obviously muscle the dog into a down by yanking on legs, and they can't reel the dog in with a long line. This is also one of the items where a lot of adolescent dogs can fall apart because staying still while your person walks away is genuinely hard. Next, we have coming when called, also known as recall. The handler walks 10 feet away, turns, calls the dog. The handler can pat their legs, get excited, bend down. The dog just needs to come. Next, we have reaction to another dog. Now another handler with a dog approaches from about 15 feet away. The two handlers stop, pretend to shake hands, exchange what they call pleasantries. We just said a quick hello and then continue on. The dog can show casual interest, a little neck stretch, a quick sniff from a distance. What we don't want is a dog trying to greet other dogs, pulling towards them, or losing focus completely. This is another big one for social dogs because the polite, restrained version of "there's another dog over there" is a learned skill, not a default setting. Next item is reaction to distractions. The evaluator picks 2 distractions, usually one sound, one visual. Things like dropping a metal pan, a jogger running past. It could be someone with a wheelchair or walker, or a person rolling a skateboard. Real world dog stuff that the dog might encounter on any given day. It's okay for the dog to look. We're not expecting a dog to be a robot. They can even be a little startled. But what we don't want to see is panic, lunging, growling, or a dog who is pacing and can't recover. Next, we have supervised separation. This is the final item. Jonathan hands Nala's leash to the evaluator and walks out of sight for 3 full minutes. The dog doesn't have to hold a stay or a sit or a down. What they can't do is bark continuously, whine, panic, or pull frantically on the leash. This is the item I think most people underestimate. 3 minutes sounds really short, but it's not, especially when your dog is being left with a stranger. We built this calm separation by starting with just 20 seconds and then slowly working up to that 3 full minute. All right, and that's it. 10 items, one pretty incredible dog, and a really good reminder that failing the Canine Good Citizen at 10 months old is not the end of a story. It can be the beginning of one. If your adolescent dog bombs something that you thought they had nailed, that's not failure, that's information. It tells you what to keep working on, and it tells you that your dog has a fully formed adult brain coming for them in a year or 2, and the work you do now is what they get to use later. Huge congrats to Jonathan and Nala, and be sure to give me some positive reinforcement by liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.